What's up guys, KBCOOPER here, bringing you some Rumble gameplay footage from Destiny. We're playing on Shores of Time, and then during this video I'm pretty much just going to talk about my quick basic thoughts on Destiny and why I think it's kind of a good and bad game all at the same time. I kind of talked about this on my podcast. If you guys don't know about that, I am on a podcast as the voice of mainly Xbox called the Unbiased Podcast. Check us out on Facebook and iTunes if you could. But I kind of broke this down that like Destiny is not quite everything I wanted it to be, but it is definitely a proof of concept. Kind of like Assassin's Creed 1, it was a very fun game to kind of play, but then you just felt like you were rinse, washing, and repeating into every new zone, every new town. Like there's just, the settings would change, but the context and what you were doing in the story was just kind of loosely strung together by almost tedious and or annoying tasks to do. I find Destiny to fall victim to that same thing, though the actual shooting and gunplay mechanics are very tight, they're clean. You know, you can definitely tell Bungie and Activision worked very well. I mean, these are two heavy hitters in the FPS industry, so if, you know, I would expected nothing less from them. So as far as like the multiplayer goes, I enjoy it. I have a lot of fun with it. It's the perfect blend of Call of Duty and Halo for me. You know, and it's a little weird because normally, you know, you just like one or the other. So for me, I'm more of a Halo person, and the Call of Duty fast-pacedness, it's fine, but it's frustrating, especially in Ghost, and I know that's a horrible example because Ghost is probably by far the worst Call of Duty ever. But you know, in Ghost, like you get killed before you even know what's happening. You almost feel like you're playing Counter-Strike half the time, and it's just not very balanced. I get in that aspect, but in this game, you know, you still have time to get the upper hand on somebody, even if you're shot first, and I do like that. That's something I like about Halo. Like, shot placement definitely matters in this. You'll see a couple times in this video where people try and take me out with shotguns, or they try rushing me, and if they would have gotten any closer, they would have taken me out. But plain and simple, though, shot placement matters. You know, a headshot matters more, whereas in Call of Duty sometimes you'll shoot people in the head, they don't drop, but you'll shoot them in the foot and they drop instantly. And it's just, you know, there's not a lot of consistency, I guess, to me with shot placement. Like, a headshot's a headshot, I get it, but it doesn't always feel that way, and it definitely does in Destiny. You know, you see the health bar drop more, you feel it in just like how you can mow through a person, and I think that's, you know, pretty good. So as far as like gunplay and multiplayer and stuff, I think it's pretty balanced. I think it plays well, and they did a good job with that. I just wish there was more game types and a little bit easier matchmaking as far as like friends and how you get them in your fire team, etc., stuff like that. Now, as far as the actual story campaign, well, I mean, I'm gonna crack the joke. Everybody is. The story campaign is about just as hard to find a legendary engram that is also an actual legendary engram. There is no story campaign, and good luck finding your legendaries. This game is a grind, and unfortunately it has a very loose story to kind of piece that all together, if you even want to call it a story. I think there's a lot of lore, but they really make you search for it, and I just don't think in a game like this you should have to do that. I think the story should speak for itself, as it always has in Bungie properties before. You know, say what you will about Halo, but I think Halo has an excellent story with so much lore and community behind it, and I know Destiny wants to be that, but it's just, I often ask myself, where's the story? Where are we going with this game? And I don't know. It's frustrating to deal with because that's a drive, you know, to do when you have to do story campaigns and missions. To get better loot, to work within the context of a faction, or to, you know, to just grind the game out, and then there's no story or anything really compelling or in addition. That's a little frustrating, but I will give it to them. They introduced raids this week, and though I am not a 26 due to the flawed loot system, which will never that's a whole nother video and argument in itself, but I have not been able to get any loot. I've put in like almost 30 something hours into this. There's kids that have put like 18, 20, 15 hours that are higher levels than me, just because, I mean, I'll say it, because of the sheer luck of their loot drops. Like, there's no way that they did something that got them, you know, to these levels so much quicker than what I did, other than, you know, wasting an hour or so of their day doing, you know, farming loot, for instance. There's a couple of ways to do that, and I've tried them, and it's just boring, and I'd rather just play the game. So that's on me. Like, I know there's ways to get better loot. I just don't feel like shooting at a cave for 2 hours for a chance to get that better loot, and that's just me. But anyways, back to the whole point of it. Destiny, I don't know how to say it. It's one of the first games of its kind, so it's hard to hold it to all the other games we're already comparing it to, like Call of Duty, Diablo, Borderlands, and Halo. But I think in the end, it really does stand on its own, and in a couple weeks, maybe an expansion and some updates, I think we'll be seeing a much different game than we saw at launch. And whatever comes from Bungie and Destiny later, I think they'll do a good job. So thank you for watching this video, guys. Be sure to comment, like, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at KBCOOPER with zeros. Thank you for watching once again. Have a great day.